Hi everyone, welcome back to my DIY home. I'm Liz, and in today's video I have 3 Christmas Dollar Tree projects to share with you. The first project that we're going to do is this candy cane wreath. So you're going to need 3 packs of candy canes from the Dollar Tree. I think they come in packs of 6, and you're also going to need a snowflake. And what you're going to do to make your wreath is just put the candy canes in the shape of a heart, and then you're going to glue them with hot glue at either end. I used a lot of hot glue for this project, and what I'm going to do is end up just flipping this over. So this is going to be the back side of my wreath. So I'm just going to lay all of these candy canes out, just gluing the hearts. I haven't glued any of them together yet. Once I have the amount that I need for my wreath, then I'll start pushing them together, making the center into a nice circle, and then connecting them. And then I literally just was very liberal about putting a bunch of glue on the back side to connect them with my hot glue gun. I also did a lot of glue around the circle, and that helped to connect them. Then I flipped it over, and then I'm going to add my snowflake to the center. This was such an easy wreath. To hang it, all you need to do is add some ribbon to the top. And then I used a wreath hanger and just tied it into a nice bow, and that is it. The next project we're going to do is this joy sign. I put this in place of my fall home sign if you guys ever watched that video. But to do this, you're going to need 3 11 by 14 frames, something to make your O. I picked out this big snowflake. I'm also using this buffalo check wrapping paper that I purchased at Walmart for $2.98. So the first thing I'm going to do after I take out the back of my frame is just cut the wrapping paper so it's going to fit into the 11 by 14 frame. So the easiest way to do that is just use the little picture that's inside and cut 3 pieces. Next, I'm going to keep the glass in the frames, and then I'm going to just smooth it out nicely and put the backing on. I decided that I wanted to put my paint on top of the glass. If you don't want to do that, just leave the glass out and you can put paint onto your wrapping paper. I'm going to be using Waverly chalk paint in matte white from Walmart. Okay guys, so I didn't decide to use a stencil. What I did was I bought these big foam brushes that they sell at Dollar Tree, and I thought, you know what, these are easy letters. I'm just going to use the length of this brush to make my letter. So I wanted them to be so big, I couldn't find a stencil that was the size I wanted. So I just freeformed this. Now, they're definitely not perfect, but they were good enough for me. So if you wanted a stencil, by all means, use a stencil, but I just wanted to do a freeform. So I'm just making my outline, and then I'm coming back in and cleaning up the edges. Now I let this dry completely, and then I came back in and did a second layer of this. So make sure you do 2 coats to really get it covered with the white. Now to make my Y, I just set the J out next to it so I could make them a similar size. If you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I post several DIY tutorials each week. And then to make the O, I'm just going to hot glue my snowflake into the center of this frame. Now to connect all these together, I'm using E6000, and I just ran a bead of it along the edge. And I connected it and I let it dry for a few hours. Then I turned them on the back, and I'm putting another bead of hot glue on the seams on the back. And to make it a little bit more sturdy, I'm using popsicle sticks to hold them in place. And I'm going to do that on both of my seams. And that's all you really need to do to connect them. And then I used command hooks to hang it up, and I love the way it looks. I think this is going to be perfect for Christmas. The next project we're going to do is this really cute container I made to hold a plant. So I don't know if you guys remember this wine bottle holder that I purchased a few weeks back. That is what I'm using for this project. So I'm just going to be cutting this up so we can wrap it around this metal tin that I have. So you can see it doesn't fit all the way around, so I'm going to have to use some of my scraps on the back in order to make it work. So I'm just cutting this burlap off to add it to the back. Now I could have used another piece of burlap, but I was really trying to make this an inexpensive tree. So with the metal container, this sack, and the tree, this project only cost me $3. So if you want to use something else here, by all means do it, but I'm just trying to make it as inexpensive as possible. So to put my burlap on, I am going to be using Mod Podge, and that really helps to hold it on. So I'm just putting a good size amount on the back, and then I will be sticking the burlap on top. I will warn you though that Mod Podge does change the color of the fabric. It gives it more of like a deep glossy look. And if that's not what you're going for with your burlap, you may just want to hot glue it in place. So I will tell you that may happen, but it's up to you on the look you want it to have. This didn't bother me at all. So I'm just going to be putting those back scrap pieces on before I put my main piece around. So you just want to put your Mod Podge underneath and then put it on top. Next, I'm going to Mod Podge the front of my container. And then I'm going to put the burlap on so that I have a little bit of a lip that hangs over the top. And then I'm just putting the edges down with some more Mod Podge. I ended up hot gluing the sides of this just to make sure it really held in place. From there, I'm going to hot glue the top of it over just to hold it in place. And then I'm cutting off the bottom edge. I didn't do anything else with the bottom edge, I just left it rough. And then next, I'm going to put a lot of Mod Podge over the top to seal this in place. Since I wanted to make use of everything that I bought, I decided to use this fur on the top of my pot. So I'm just going to cut this in half, and I'm going to put half on the back and half on the front with my hot glue gun. The look you're going for, you could always use a different ribbon, but I was trying to do this as inexpensively as possible. So you just want to glue it on the outside and then put a bead of glue and wrap it around on the inside. And I'll do the same on the front side. And this ribbon actually made it around perfectly. From there, I'm going to get my tree. So I bought a dollar tree that they have at Dollar Tree. And I don't know if you guys saw my last video where I made them a lot fuller by using these wire wraparounds that they have. I don't know what these are, like wire garlands, what they would call them. And I just wrapped them around the tree as many times as I could so that they were about the same size as the branch on top or below them. I put probably 6 or 7 different wire garlands on this, and it just made it a lot more full. Now, I could be using foam, but I wanted to go really inexpensive, so I just shoved Dollar Tree bags in here and made sure that it kind of looked white up top. And then I put my tree in place. You can't even see the bags, and that's how it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed these projects. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, here is a link to my Christmas playlist.